Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be starting a new series here at Straight Smoke Gaming. I plan on doing this for all the NFL teams. We're going to go over three things that each team I feel they need to do this offseason, whether it's through free agency, trades, or the draft. One of those things, they're going to have three for every team. You know, even the good teams, there are things they could improve on. And this is opinion-based, so go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Just because I think they should do something doesn't mean you guys have to. Starting off with the Chicago Bears, previous record, they went 5-12 this past season. They got $66 million in cap. That's the fifth most. So, I mean, that's a pretty good situation. Not exactly horrible. Got cap to use. The number one thing they need to do, though, is find an offensive head coach. They did that with Ben Johnson at the time of me doing this video. He already signed from what I'm hearing, and I made these graphics before that news broke, so that's why that's on here. But even then, signing Ben Johnson is not the only thing. You're going to have to bring in a whole new staff. Ben Johnson's going to have guys that he wants. So the coaches that are remaining there and the new guys, they have to buy in. They have to go with Ben Johnson's game plan. They have to buy into what he's trying to do there. Because if you got coaches that are going against each other, really don't think that's going to work out too well. So they did the right thing. They got the offensive guy. Now there's more to it. Number two, improve the offensive line. Caleb Williams, awesome quarterback. I think he'll be great. He's shown glimpses of greatness. And now it's just a matter of protecting him so that way he can use the weapons that he has. Ben Johnson, great head coach or great offensive coordinator. I think he'll be a good head coach. Look at what he did with the Lions. They had a good line. They had good weapons. And Jared Goff looks like an MVP candidate at times. So they got the weapons. They got the quarterback talent. The next thing is going to be protecting him. So that's something they're going to have to do, whether it's through free agency, draft, or trades. Personally, I would not do the draft. They've taken a couple chances in the draft. Has not really panned out for them. So I would look to address that through free agency or trades. The number three thing that I think the Chicago Bears should do is try to find some more affordable offensive skill players. Don't be wrong, Keenan Allen's great, but he's a free agent. I'm not going to pay him because I'm sure he's going to want more than what he's really worth. DeAndre Swift, making a lot of money for what he does. DeAndre Swift, not a bad quarterback, running back, just not really what he's worth. I'm sure you can find a better running back for cheaper. Next up, the Green Bay Packers. Previous season, they went 11-6. Available cap is $40 million, so that's middle of the pack. Good team. They were just in a really good division, so they finished third in their division. The number one thing they need to do is improve the offensive skill players. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed. I think that's a really fun receiving core. I think it's interesting because they're definitely not one of the best receiving cores, but they play really well together. My problem is, though, Jordan Love turned the ball over a lot. I'm thinking, how can we help him from turning the ball over as much? You got to get him more weapons, preferably through free agency. I would not waste any more picks in the draft on this, especially because of number two. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I know T. Higgins is going to be a free agent. That would be an interesting signing if you bring in a guy like T. Higgins. I think that would work well with that receiving core. And, with Christian Watson always being hurt, you really got to question how much he's going to be there to help the offense anyway. Number two, improve defensive secondary. Like I was saying, this is what you got to have to do in the draft. They're talking about getting rid of Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander, when he plays, is a really good corner. They're talking about getting rid of him. They are losing some guys in free agency. So, if you get rid of him, you're going to have to overhaul at corner. You're going to have to get people in the draft, sign people, re-sign players. So there's just a lot of things here. I'm not really sure that they're in a spot right now to cut Jair Alexander, but that's number two if they do end up doing that. And number three, improve/replace offensive linemen leaving in free agency. The big one that stuck out to me was their center. He's good. The run game's good. To keep that going, you're going to have to bring him back preferably. And if you can't, you're going to have to find a replacement because I think this team is good when they give Josh Jacobs the ball. And to do that, you need to have a good offensive line for him to be as productive as he was last year. So that's the three things I think the Green Bay Packers should do. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings. Kind of a surprising season going 14-3 with Sam Darnold, I might add. Available cap at $58 million, seventh most in the league. The number one thing that they need to do everything they can to retain/replace defensive coordinator Brian Flores. Brian Flores is probably going to be leaving for a head coaching job. If you can keep him, that's great. That's the ideal scenario. let's talk realistically here. Probably not going to be able to keep him from a head coaching job. So you're going to have to find a guy that works well with this defense and can earn the same respect that he had. If you take a look at the Vikings defense, the names aren't great, really. There's a lot of people that you would not expect for them to be on this good of a defense and for the defense to be that good. But you can do it, find a new defensive coordinator, but losing Brian Flores, if they do, is going to be a big hit for that defense. Number 2, bring back Sam Darnold and other key players. Starting off with Sam Darnold here, he had a career year, kind of a like a Geno Smith revival in a way. You cannot let him walk, especially with the uncertainty of J.J. McCarthy. I know you took McCarthy in the first round. You're hoping for him to be good, but we don't know. We haven't seen him play in the NFL. Bring back Sam Darnold, and who knows? Maybe you do a sign and trade. You sign him, and if you like what J.J. McCarthy's doing in offseason, you could trade Sam Darnold. I would not let Sam Darnold walk away for free. Other guys like Harrison Smith, they're losing some good corners. So Aaron Jones is a free agent. There's a lot of key players to this team that are free agents. That would be big to bring back. Number 3 is going to be improve the offensive line and running back room. Like I said, Aaron Jones is a free agent. I do think there are better options, whether that's through the draft, free agency, trades. You just got to improve that area. I think it would help more if the run game was a little bit better, trying to get this team kind of more to like a equal run, equal pass level team. So that's going to be big for the Minnesota Vikings. And lastly, we got the Detroit Lions coming off an upset to the Commanders in playoffs. Previous record going 15-2. Available cap sitting at $57 million. Number one thing you got to do, bring back one, if not both, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. Now, we know that they're not bringing back both because, like I said, for the Bears, today they just signed Ben Johnson. So, Aaron Glenn, you got to try your best to get him. And if you cannot bring him back, you're going to have to replace those people. The defense was really big. The offense was really big. Dan Campbell is not an X's and O's guy, so especially the offense with Ben Johnson leaving, you cannot replace him with someone else. I definitely expect to see a drop-off in production offensively for the Detroit Lions. Defensively, same thing. Defense was rolling without Aiden Hutchinson, which is surprising. So losing Aaron Glenn is definitely going to hurt this defense, in my opinion. So you're going to have to replace those guys. Try your best to bring back Aaron Glenn. That'll help a lot. Number 2, improve the secondary. I feel like this is a thing for the Lions every year. Safeties, they're good. That was a typo. I meant to put cornerbacks when I was making the graphics. So, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph locking down the safety spots. But I feel like at corner every year, there's a need for the Lions at corner, and they address it through the draft, and it never really lives up to the hype that it has when it first happens. I mean, we really need to improve that secondary cornerback-wise, and if you could do that, I think that would help that defense a lot. Number 3 is going to be maintaining the offensive line. If you got any guys leaving in free agency, you got to bring them back. This team, they are a run-first team, and if they're not run-first, you want to say they're a pass-first team or they're equally balanced, that's fine. But the run game is how this team works. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, we've seen it countless times with David Montgomery's injury. When he was out, Jahmyr Gibbs thrived in this offense. So maintaining that offensive line, getting a good run game is important to the Lions' success. So that's going to be big for the Lions to come back next year and compete for a Super Bowl again. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, this is opinion-based. So like I said, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. There's different things that you guys think these teams should do. I plan on doing this for all of the teams in the NFL. We're going to do division at a time just so we don't got really long videos that I'm just rambling on and on. Because I could do this all the time. I could do this easily with this type of thing. But when it comes to this NFC North video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.